back to another Fabulous Confabulation with me, Jay Mills. Today I am chatting with Annie Bercy, who is a film director, photographer, editor, graphic designer, producer, and the list goes on. Some of her work includes her short film Riley, which was a segment on Your Attention Please on Hulu. This past summer, she directed Ciara's music video Rooted. She recently did a virtual shoot for Prada Fashion Week21, edited multiple of SZA's music videos, and so much more. Hello, Annie. How are you?
I'm good. It's funny when you put it like that. I'm just like, wow, yeah, that did happen. That's a lot.
So, when did your passion for directing, photographing, and editing form? Like, was it a specific class you took or something you knew you wanted to do when you were little?
I think that it breaks itself into like different parts because like I realized I like editing at a certain age. I realized I like photography at a certain age. And most definitely started out with photography. I was always into taking photos, like since disposable cams were the cams, and then we upgraded to digital cams, and then we upgraded to like the Nintendo DSi dropped, and everybody could do photo shoots like with their little Nintendo DSi. So I was always like super into taking photos since I was like a little girl. I loved it. Even in my BlackBerry, I would do full out photo shoots and then throw it on like Pick Monkey or Be Funky. Those are the two editing sites that I really loved at the time, and like edit my photos that way. So like if you were to find my Facebook, which I hope you never look for, like you would see these early onward shoots that I used to do. But my passion for editing, I think that really got started maybe around seventh grade. I started editing. I was editing videos for my church and like little vlogs of mine. And then that stemmed into editing vlogs and put together for my eighth grade class. And then that stemmed into doing vlogs for high school. And then finally, to answer your question about directing, when I was in college, my first semester of college, I kind of asked myself, like, yo, like, what do I still love doing, even though it's no longer exposed to me? Like, I was exposed to a whole bunch of different clubs in high school. What do I still love doing when it's no longer directly right in front of me? And I was still picking up a camera and like going out and shooting it. So I think my first year of college, my freshman year of college, is when I realized I wanted to be a director. When I put two and two together and said, like, oh, okay, there's people that do this for their lives, for their careers. That's what I want to be. And since then I've been kind of just going for it.
Wow, that's awesome. So basically it was all just like stacking. So it like started with photographing and then like editing and then the film directing and then like the graphic designing and all of
Exactly. I was a person that always loved media. So it literally was like a long time coming, honestly.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So you mentioned that Riley was your senior thesis for college. What was the process like pitching it to Hulu? Because not everyone has that opportunity.
It's so crazy. They had come to me about the Black History Month based like episodes, and they asked me if I had any ideas. It was in the initial call. They asked me if I had any ideas for what I would do because it came to me like asking, hey, do you want to do a narrative segment? I had like worked on a small piece with them before. So them coming to me now wasn't like a big surprise as it was like the very, very first time. But all in good timing. I told them that I had two ideas what I would go about it. I know they weren't already. I know like in that call they weren't expecting me to have like here's what I want to do. Like they didn't expect that. But I pitched them Riley, which was untitled at the time, and then I also pitched them this other content piece that I hadn't wrote yet, but the idea was there. And they ended up falling towards Riley. They really liked the story of Riley, and I was just like, okay, great. Like here's the script. Like because I had already written it. Thank goodness that they went with the one that like that was something that I actually wrote already, and that's something that I wouldn't have to like start from scratch because they liked it. So it was honestly like an easy pitch. Like I love the way their eyes lit up when I brought up that wigged mannequin scene and like the realization that she has. So like from there it kind of snowballed, and now we have Riley.
Yes. Oh, I love it. There's so much good feedback about it. And thank you once
Really?
again for the opportunity. Like that was just amazing. So thank you.
Thank you. I was like, I saw you. I was just like, nah, like she is the cutest. That Riley right there. Like she has to embody that. So when I also learned that you had this blog, and that you were based on like just supporting women, supporting Black women, and kind of like had a Riley's story connected to your own as well. Like that was like a double whammy, a plus plus. I'm really happy that worked out. Like really.
Yeah,
So
sure. So, I mean, every film, every short film has their challenges. Were there any challenges with Riley? I know the ending, we had to alternate the ending, but were there anything else that we may not know?
people don't know the amount of times that I had to write Riley over again because it's like originally the way that I wrote it was for Riley and her friends were supposed to be, and everybody was supposed to be in elementary school. Like it was in an elementary school based thing. And that's the reason like why like that imagination kind of runs rampant because like she was supposed to be like super, super young, like second, third grade. And then I had to, I had to write it over like I would say like 6 times, 7 technically, but I rewrote that script 6 times solely because of COVID. Having to now structure your script for a pandemic that nobody ever saw coming was a whole process in itself because there are a lot of different rules on what you can do. Like when you're, especially like when when you're working with a big brand like Hulu, who's like associated with Disney, you know, you had to stick to a very, very, very strict COVID guidelines. And like, that's like not being able to shoot with kids. Like not even Jamila was supposed to have, I said Jamila, Riley's supposed to have like a younger brother like that lived like in the house, but like we couldn't have like young kids. We couldn't find like super super old, the elderly, I mean, because of like COVID. So like we had to make sure it was a lot of just little rules to go around, and I found myself having to write it over and over again. Like I remember Riley and her friend Jamal was supposed to have a conversation in the elevator. We couldn't have a conversation in the elevator because we can't shoot in tight spaces. Like we can't shoot on a school bus because that. It was so many little different things. So I had to write it over and over again, these little pieces, so that it would be coherent with COVID and shooting within COVID. And then this film was supposed to be shot in LA. And then because of all the LA lockdowns, it got switched to New York super last minute. So you amongst everybody else, they picked up that script the week before shooting, you know? So it was a scramble. Like people don't know all the all the behind the scenes of it, but it was a scramble. But I'm just so happy that it worked out regardless. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. And that's crazy because I was Jamal, who plays Jamal. We were talking about that scene because we loved that scene because I remember I did it for the audition and I was like, maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
because of time, but you never know. Like you said, you never know like what's happening behind the scenes. So that's just interesting.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was, I know with that scene that ended up getting cut. I think what had happened was like it wasn't shot well enough, like with audio or video. So like, and because like we couldn't spend that much time on it, I think you remember what happened like that second day. We was just like, okay, like in the edit, like we're gonna have to work around it. Even the conversation with mom is cut a bit because she's mentioning friends that no longer are shown on TV. So we're just like going around
Oh
to
yeah.
make it work best.
So what was it like directing for Ciara's music video, Rooted? Like how did that whole thing happen?
When I tell you like the things that happened to me, I honestly just laugh. Like, cause like, no, honestly, like, I'm just like, okay, like literally like all the things that happen, I'm just like, okay, we can do that. You know, so Ciara hit me up on Juneteenth.
Wow, just so like
Um,
Ciara hit me up, you know.
yeah, me casual, whatever. And like I remember I got a notification, like in like it said like, see, you know, it's funny, like my friend was recording a video of me at the time. So I literally have like a raw, authentic reaction to this thing. But I picked up my phone and I saw that a Ciara like reached out to me. So I'm thinking like, okay, that's just the name that the person put, like, you know, like when you put the name in your bio, and that's like what comes up as like your name, like when you put it as your name, even though it's not your at.
Mhm.
Anywho, I clicked on it and it's like the Ciara. I clicked on the page. I'm like, wait, did Ciara just hit me up? Hey, love, heart. Like what? DM me mad casual. Hey, My people start their people. I would love for you. I would love to work with you. I'm like, and the fact that she also hit me up on Juneteenth, like that was something in itself. Working with her is awesome. Like it was just such a super fast experience. We hopped on Zoom. My manager was on, her assistant was on, and her creative director, Jamaica, was on as well. And I don't know, it moved just very fast. And all of a sudden I was being flued out to
Wow.
California with my friend Savi. We who was a DP on the project. We like drove up to San Diego. Like it was like a big bang boom thing. And me, when it comes to like all of my shoots, like the thing that I'm like just most excited about is it being over. Honestly, like I'm not even excited about the shoot. Even like with Riley, I was not excited about the shoot. I'm just like, yo, I cannot wait till like the weekend is done, so that I could say that I did it. You know?
No, I feel
So,
that.
you know. So Ciara was like the same ordeal, where it's just like, yo, like this is like the biggest like opportunity that has fallen on my lap thus far. Like I cannot wait for this shit to be over. I cannot wait to be done. But no, like she was she was so nice, super with it. And we were taken to her estate. We shot that music video, all of her scenes like within her home, but like there's different like sections within that estate. So shot that, like she was super nice, and then afterwards we all grabbed some. Man, it was it.
So you was eating with her?
Yes, afterwards, her, Russell, me, Savi, just eating, chilling, like the photographer having like regular conversation, this, down, the third, and I'm just like, how is this happening? Like, and I'm here. Like, okay,
Wow.
here we go.
Oh my gosh. So do you ever feel that you get like imposter syndrome with like such big opportunities like this, or like are you like, no, this is real, like I'm doing this?
Honestly, like I feel like I get imposter syndrome showing the film. Last night, like my friends had come over and they were just like, oh, we want to watch the film. I'm like, like literally, I don't know why, like I don't know what it is. And like specifically the part like where like Craig says, oh, she does this and the third. And even when you introduce me, like that's what I'm just like because I'm like, it's true, all that stuff happened, but like hearing it out loud, hearing somebody like speak about it, it's just like, oh, I don't know, like those moments, or like listed off those moments, I'm just like, whoa, like,
Yeah. I definitely get it. So at 23 years old, you've already done so many notable projects for so many like amazing artists. What would you say is the process of getting these opportunities? Is it about like who you know, or is there some type of like audition interview process when you like want to direct something? Like I've always wondered about that.
it depends. Honestly, there's a whole process. Sometimes you have to send a pitch out, like you write a whole treatment, and you what was it? Sometimes you write a whole treatment and then like it gets sent out to a different director. Sometimes commissioners will reach out to you to send you like different like bits or projects, but sometimes it literally just falls on your lap and you're just like, oh, sure, okay. Like I feel like with Hulu, with Ciara, even with SZA, like that shit just fell on my lap. Like they all came to me like, hey, we see what you're doing. We
Yeah.
want to do that too. Here it is. Like, so I'm just happy. Like, shout out to social media. I feel like if it wasn't for social media, like, like you never know who's watching you. You never know like who's going on your page without interacting. So because like Instagram and or Twitter, like it could be like a live portfolio outside of your website, like it just leads towards job opportunities. Like SZA found me on Instagram, Ciara found me on Instagram, and Brandon Pierce, the creative director of Hulu, found me on Instagram but emailed me for the opportunity. So
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, so that leads into my next question. Like, do you feel like creating your own work and using social media is like the way to go if you want to go into this business, or waiting for the opportunity?
it's definitely creating your own work, and like creating your own work and working with others in general. Like I feel like that's what like led me through, because it's one thing where like your portfolio is a compilation of things that you did for others. Like, I shot for this brand, I did this, that, and the third. But like I love to incorporate like the things that I want to do just for fun on my page as well. Like, and that comes in the forms of my mood boards. I don't know if you ever watched them, but like I do this thing.
So good.
Yeah, but those mood boards like stem from me just wanting to like get this creative like outlet out, you know? So it's just really dope. I think it's important to work with others because it's good to show off that, you know, like you can be a professional and you can like, you know, take somebody's vision and make it come to life, and or like create a vision based on like the clothes they have or the type of person that you're working for. What was it? It's also important to create for yourself, because like I feel like the work that I've done for myself, like that's the work that like people, it's have stood out the most for people. So I feel like you got to do both, but more so like show off like what's true to yourself, because that's what people connects the most with.
Awesome. Yeah, I even know like just as an actor, like even though like some actors don't see themselves as writers or as, you know, as these other fields and practices, like it's definitely important, like especially for me, like to just create my own work as opposed to just waiting for the next audition, and just, you know, showing that I can, you know, do that, and not, and like this is what I want to do, because I
Mm-hmm.
think waiting is, waiting for an opportunity can be dreadful, and it can suck the fun out of your passion, as opposed.
Waiting for an opportunity may already cause you to miss the opportunity, because like you're not doing things for yourself. There's like opportunities that stem out of you doing things for yourself, you
Exactly.
know, people seeing that and then being like, oh, you know, so yeah, waiting for an opportunity would cause you to miss the opportunity, like the opportunities that you're not waiting on, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, based on your experiences so far, do you feel that the industry is being more open to women photographers and directors, especially women of color, or do you feel that there are still some challenges along the way?
I think that since the Black Lives Matter movement that happened in late May, early June, I feel like, you know, a lot of corporations finally realize that we exist. That we also that we've been here. So I feel like it's a bit right now, it's a great time for Black people, Black women who have already like put in the time to now like shine. But I feel like, yeah, right now it's most definitely easier to I guess just work with. I don't know. I feel like it's a good. It's most definitely the greatest time to get a job and like be accepted into it, because like there's a demand for Black artists and Black creators and black, you know. So it right now it's easier. It's funny that this happened during the pandemic, but at the same time it also happened because of the pandemic, you know, like if it wasn't for this, like we wouldn't have been able to like solely focus on the true issues at hand. So now that there's so many people like begging for like diversity and inclusivity, like this is most definitely the time. I'm sure there's going to be like a different set of challenges, a new set of challenges, because wherever you go, you're going to find challenges. However, this is a great time for Black people, and Black people need to just hop on the onto this wave like as it comes, you know.
Yeah. I just hope it's not a phase, you know, because like even as an actor, everyone's looking to tell a story about a black lead or you know whatever it is, and it's like I just hope that, you know, when this pandemic ends, or like when time keeps going, like they won't just go back to how it
No,
was.
no way. I feel like after 2020 and all the stuff that happened in 2020, including like the end of Trump's presidency, it's like such an undeniable year that I don't think that America can just revert and go back the same like afterwards. I don't think it's a phase. I feel like it's like the new normal.
Where do you get your inspiration for all of your projects?
When it comes to my inspiration, like I'm always seeking without realizing that I'm doing it. So I'm always seeking unintentionally. I feel like because of social media, because you're always like surrounded by like what everybody has to say and what they do, you're also surrounded by like what they have to create, like their outlets of creation, the modes in themselves. So I find myself always like saving images that I see off of Instagram, because people are just so creative. I'm always saving images that I've seen on Twitter. Like I'm hoarding these images onto my Pinterest, like for like later use. I always pin something. Like Pinterest has been a very, very big tool for me. Like when organizing my inspiration, or like just keeping it, putting a pin on the different things that I do see. putting a pin on it and like most like and then checking it out later. Um, I think that I'm always constantly inspired by like the world around me. I always like catching something, whether it's in a store window or just anything, taking a photo of it and be like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I don't know why this calls to me, but I'm gonna document it and save it forever. And then via Instagram, all these new creators, Twitter, all these new creators, and I'm always constantly finding because other people like them or fuck with their stuff as well. And I'm also inspired by all the art that has come out in the past. Like I'm heavily inspired by early 2000s and like even like art that was there during the like Roman castle princess. I'm like finding inspiration everywhere, like all the time. I consider myself a very eclectic person, always like pulling from different sources, like continually. So it's like never ending, like everywhere, inspiration for me.
Awesome. So what would you say is like a dream project that you would love to do or create?
That's a great question. Honestly, like I don't know, I can't tell you who specifically or what specifically, but I would love to just be given like like a budget of like $100,000, some shit, like to create something for someone or a brand or whatever. And I want to execute something with a very, very big budget. I feel like that's the dream right now. I
Yeah.
want to do something where I'm able to let my imagination run completely free and like, like it's paid for and done with whether that falls into another short film, whether it falls into a crazy cool music video or fashion campaign for a brand or a person. I would love to just be given a very, very huge, huge budget and create it.
Go
I feel
crazy.
like that's the dream project right now.
Awesome. And so do you have a specific like brand or organization or artist that you would love to work with, or that's still like you don't know?
I most definitely like have a list, but if I were to tell you like the top two people that I really want to work with, I would still say SZA because she's one of my favorite artists. Like she's and her brain is incredible. And I would say for my other two, in terms of people, Tyler the Creator and Frank Ocean. I feel like those three people, like and Pharrell. Oh my gosh, I would love to work for Pharrell.
Yes.
So literally like those Tyler the Creator, Pharrell, or even Kanye too, like all these people
Amazing.
are just innovators completely. Like it's really incredible, like the way that their mind has set the tone for so many people. Like they're all leaders in different ways. They all started off with music and then delved into different things, delved into fashion, delved into furniture. Like Tyler the Creator has Golf Wang and he's like gone like and it completely like I don't know, everybody's just growing and it's just so cool to watch these creative people just be themselves. And I would love to work with them. Like that's honestly like a dream. Like in different spaces and different things, I would love to work with them. When it comes to a brand, I wouldn't say like this is like a big dream because like I feel like it's very attainable. So it's more like a goal. I really want to work with GDCS. Oh
Okay.
my, if it's GCDS, no one make fun of me. It's like I'm pretty sure it's GDCS, but it could be. I always like get those two little things confused. I would love to work with them. They're like really funky, really creative, and Gucci's pretty creative as well. But yeah, man, I don't even all I want to I feel like when it comes to like setting like my goals and my dreams, like I'm just like, yo, I just want to keep creating and being myself and seeing like what comes out of it because like there are dreams that are so big that I haven't even dreamed them. Like I wouldn't have even considered Hulu to be like on a goal mark. And then here it came and I'm just like, oh snap. Like I never even thought that I'd be like eligible or suited to do something like on a streaming platform. So I don't even like to like set like particular dreams because like who knows, you know?
Right. Yeah, and I think that just shows how passionate you are, and that's why things fall into your lap, like because you keep creating, you keep on doing, and you truly love what you do. And so people are watching you. Like you said, you never know who's watching. But we're manifesting all those people you said,
Right.
friends, like, yes.
Mhm.
So it's Women's History Month. So who are some women that inspire you?
I think for sure, Nadia. I have a lot of women that
Mhm.
inspire me. I couldn't even like give you the full list, but so many different people inspire me. But like I will mention this one director. Oh, there's so many though. I really, really love Nadia Lee Cohen.
Okay.
She is like a director who has like a very 50s, 60s aesthetic, middle America during the 50s and 60s, plastic on the furniture, kooky wig aesthetic. When you check out her page, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
It's funny here. I just got her book yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I literally love her. Every like she has the same consistent aesthetic, but she applies it to different people in different ways. Like she directed Gilligan by Dram and ASAP Rocky. She directed See You Again by Kali Uchis and Tyler the Creator. She directed um Babushka by ASAP Rocky. When you get a chance, check these videos out because they're freaking fire. And she also that's the one that I mentioned. But no, she's so fire. Like, and she's just being herself, and because that's her whole aesthetic as well. Like that 50s, 60s. She's fire. I really fuck with her work. So most definitely like a big inspiration because she's just so detail oriented. I feel like anybody that like is unapologetically themselves, I'm very enamored and inspired by them. I have like my friend named Janice. She has a brand named Jablanc, really really fire jewelry brand. Like there's like Brianna Shanae of Matte brand. Like there's T Dion of like her own brand. Like there's Vashti, there's Alayli May. Like there's all these people that are just being themselves, doing them, Renelle, who's a photographer. There's just I can go on and on about like the many people that inspire me, and I'm always discovering new women every day. So a lot.
That's
The long story short, a lot people inspire me.
No, I gotta check all of them out. I gotta take notes, writing down all those names you just
Nah, for real. Oh my goodness, it's really dope what people are doing, what women are doing right now.
for real. Yeah, it's amazing. So you mentioned Nadia's like aesthetic. Do you feel like you have an aesthetic yourself? Like I
I
feel
think I pride myself on not having an aesthetic, but I feel like something specific that I do tend to always do. I love neon hues.
yeah,
I
that's
love
what I was like, I
neon hues. So I feel like that's something like that is always incorporated one way or another, like a neon. I think growing up, like watching like all those New York movies and how they would like exaggerate how New York looks with like with blue streets and like red. Like I've always loved that. Like it's just so like extra and elevated. So I think that most definitely is an aesthetic of mine.
So for the beauties who are aspiring film directors, editors, photographers, and who just want to be in this business, what are some tips and advice you can give to them?
Just do it. I feel like that's the advice that I was given when I was 18. Um, Whatever you want to be, just like do it, and don't feel like there's like one way to get to where you want to be. You just like do all the steps that will make you fall into the position and just be where you want to be. Honestly, just do it, execute it. Like if you're not going to do it, somebody else will. Or if you're not going to, those are two things that I live by. If you're not going to do it, someone else will. And if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So execute, 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 execute. Like just make it happen. Do it. Like you have an idea, bring it to life so that you can move on to the next idea. Don't be a person whose head is just filled with ideas, who never
Mm.
sees them through, because you're just wasting your potential. Execute it, do it, just like Nike. Just do it. Like, cause I just do it. Just do it is my advice that I give to everyone. Do it, perfect it, learn it, perfect it again, so that you can learn how to do something else.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it sounds cliche, but it's actually really important, and it's
Yeah,
an
you are
important.
your biggest motivator. You are your biggest like you control so much that happens in your life and you are actually aware of. So if you just do it, like things will come out of you just making it happen.
So, do you have
Right.
any upcoming projects coming up that you can share? If not, it's okay. But like,
No, all good. I'm like Happily, I mean, right now, so I'm still directing like music videos. I have a music video dropping this month, I believe, in March. And I'm also on a different editing project as well. So um most definitely tune to those. I'm like looking forward to see that my upcoming month is pretty free, and I'm looking forward to that because I would love to go on vacation. But nah, man, I feel like I don't have like anything specific because the things that happen are so random, like are literally so random that I'm just like even with Prada, like that I got hit up about that like the week before it happened, and then like we made it was just it's random stuff, literally. So I can't even tell you what I have coming up because who knows at this point? Like it's 2021, things are just happening, and I'm just like, okay. So good things are coming. We don't know what yet, but good things are coming.
I'll be following. I'll be keeping up.
Hey,
So, what do you like to do in your free time?
girl, I like to sleep. I like to sleep. Okay. I like to have little kumbayas and have people at the crib and just chilling. Like yesterday was a good example of that. Like I like to just mac out, smoke. When being in California, it's very awesome because you can go on hikes, you can go to the beach, you can like do stuff. So I just bro, I just love going outside. I love relaxing. Me and my boyfriend, he watched for the first time Game of Thrones, like that whole series. We finished it a few days ago. So bro, I just like to chill, have company over, go out to eat, go on vacation. Like I just love to play hard because if it's not that, I'm behind the computer stuck for like a week just editing shit. Like right after this, I actually have to submit something in by 4 p.m. my time.
Okay.
So but I literally I love to chill, man.
Yes, no, I feel that. Going out to
relax. Relax any way that I can. I'm gonna relax.
Love that. Well, this is the end of our wonderful conversation. This was so much fun.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
So, thank you so much for chatting with me, Annie. Remember, beauties, Annie Bercy is a girl with beauty and brains, and so are you.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Of course.